You cannot play the game if you don't know the rules. You can play it, but you're going to lose because you don't know the rules. So I'm just telling you guys that the confidential informants are in society and they're pushing people into slavery. Welcome back to the Altgeld Kingpins Channel, where we talk about confidential informants. So last video I told you guys what the 13th Amendment is, where basically if you're duly tried and convicted of a crime, then you can become a slave and you can be pushed into involuntary servitude. So the reason why I bring this up with confidential informants is because confidential informants are what? They're sending people to jail. And when they're sending people to jail, guess what? People are being convicted of a crime. When you're convicted of a crime as punishment, you can be going into slavery or you can be into involuntary servitude. That's why I talk about this with the 13th Amendment, because confidential informants are literally making slaves every day. Not only are they making slaves every day, they're making workers every day. And what I mean by workers is, if you understand anything about the prisons or private prisons and all that stuff, you look into it, they're making items that we use. They're making this stuff. That's what they're doing in jail. So now outside of jail, you may probably take an hour to make something like this. You know, you got to do all this stuff with it. An hour, this probably take, let's say, $5 just to make this in an hour. You have to pay somebody $5 on the outside of prison to make this same thing in an hour. But in prison, you can pay them 10 cents to make the same thing in that same hour. So now if you understand that 10 cents versus $5 and you're in business, would you rather spend 10 cents to make an item that you can spend $5 to make the same? Would you rather take the 10 cents over the $5? And that's business, ladies and gentlemen. So this isn't anything that's illegal. It's crazy. And I understand that a lot of people would think,
oh, that's so wrong, that's so wrong, it's so bad.
That I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm not saying that I don't agree with it. But I'm telling you guys, if you understand the laws, then you're able to play this game that we're in better. You cannot play the game if you don't know the rules. You can play it, but you're going to lose because you don't know the rules. So I'm just telling you guys that the confidential informants are in society and they're pushing people into slavery. So when you view a lot of those people that's in jail, they're like considered slaves, because the 13th Amendment tells you that if you're convicted of a crime, you could be a slave basically again. But think about the confidential informants. They're also slaves. But we know if you go back to slavery that we had the field nigga and we had the house nigga. Those are the two different slaves. So those in jail are the field niggas basically. So they working, they the ones that work hard, sweating out there in the sun. And the house niggas is the confidential informants, because they're telling the master what the field niggas is doing. It's the same thing. Think of the concept. The informants are telling what the criminals are doing to get the criminals locked up. Once the criminals are locked up, they're considered slaves, or they're not necessarily 100% considered slaves, but the 13th Amendment says that you literally by law can say they're slaves because of this. But this is what they're doing. So they're literally getting those people in trouble. You trying to escape? No, you ain't trying to escape. They said they running tonight, boss. Tonight they running. They said they going that way. All right, okay, cool. Master gonna hit the house slave with some, and then they going about their business. It's the same thing. They're hitting these confidential informants with, here's a car, here's a house, here's some money. Okay, you could do all these crimes, and we're going to let you keep all the proceeds and start you a business, all type of stuff. As a matter of fact, shout out to Rick Ross. Rick Ross plug was locked up. They actually let his plug out of jail to set him up. And when he set Rick Ross up, and Rick Ross ended, the real Rick Ross, he ended up going into prison, and the plug was deported back to his country with, I believe, $150,000. So he was able to start a business with that $150,000, although he was supposed to be incarcerated. But he sent Rick Ross into slavery. So tell me what you guys think about this video. Do you like it? Do you think it's okay? What do you think? Like, I just want to know what you guys think about this information, because I'm telling you information, everything what I talk about is public. You just have to learn how to research to find it. I'm not telling you nothing that I'm making up. All of this stuff is public. You just have to go look into it and read it and understand it. As long as you understand it and you read it and you have that understanding, then you will know what's going on. So that's why this is a touchy subject to a lot of people, but it doesn't bother me. I'm comfortable talking about it because I'm comfortable in my own skin and I understand the laws. And I'm just basically telling you guys what's going on in society. So like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Link on the bottom to the book and everything. Tell me what you guys think. See you guys on the next video.
This video is for educational and entertainment use only. The views in this video do not necessarily represent the views or life of Marlon Dixon.